G'day viewers, welcome to Heevanlee Tai Chi and Yoga. My name is Todd and this is your 20-minute yoga flow. So let's get to it. So we start in Sukhasana or easy posture. If your knees are rising up, then place a cushion underneath to support them. Alternatively, you can sit on a cushion which will raise your hips up, which will take the pressure off your knees. If you're comfortable with this position, then remove the fleshy part of your buttocks away so you're sitting on your sit bones. That will encourage a nice long spine, which is exactly what we want to start the practice. So now let's bring our hands to prayer pose and we'll start with a sankalpa or dedication. And in our mind's eye, we're going to send love, support and energy to someone that we know that needs a little bit of extra of that right now. And then we'll slowly open the eyes and then we'll move into our practice. We'll start with our body awakening series, which is basically relaxing the body and preparing the body, series of stretches for the rest of the practice. So let's interlock the fingers and extend the hands out in front. We get a nice stretch through the shoulders. Let's keep that long spine, remember that, and draw the belly in. Now let's turn the palms out. We get a nice stretch through the wrists here also. And then we'll just release the hands, give a nice little shake. Let's extend the left hand out in front. We're going to take our right hand on top of our left fingers and we're going to draw that right fingers towards our shoulder, creating a stretch underneath our left wrist. And just release that. And then we'll change over to the opposite hand, this time left hand on the top of the right fingers, creating that stretch on the bottom of the right wrist. And then give both hands a shake. Now let's take the left hand across the body, right hand above the bicep, and extend the left hand out to the side. We get a nice stretch through the shoulder capsule here. And then releasing that, and then we'll change over to the opposite side. Right hand reaching, left hand supporting just above the bicep. We never place any pressure on the joints in our postures. And then releasing that, give the hands a shake, give the shoulders a little bit of a shake here. And now we're going to go into some neck circles. We'll start clockwise first. Just start with nice smaller circles and then gradually expand the radius. And then we'll change the opposite direction counterclockwise. And then we come back to the starting position. Now we're going to go into our first posture, which is cat-cow posture. Now one of the points to note with this, we want to make sure that our fingers are spread nice and wide. That is going to create a great base for us to support ourselves with. So let's place our hand onto the mat. Let's make sure to get the palm as flat as possible. This is a great spinal mobility, this exercise. So we've got a couple of alignment points we need to consider before we go into the posture. We want to make sure that the shoulder is stacked over our wrists and our hips are stacked over our knees. Let's make sure the knees are in line with our wrists and we've got a nice straight line from our knee all the way through to our ankle. And we'll keep our pelvis neutral here. Now let's adjust yourself with those points in mind. And it's not always going to be exact, but we're working with an alignment principle to support our joints. Joints that are supported are stacked on top of each other. We never want to place undue pressure on the joints. So from here, we're going to draw the belly in towards the spine, and then we're going to activate the shoulder girdle, pressing away, pressing into the mat. And by activating the shoulder girdle, we're extending to what we call the cobra hood. It's spinal mobility. And then we exhale, release, we lift the head, and then we lengthen the tailbone down, creating a spinal movement in the opposite direction. And then we inhale and draw the belly in towards the spine. Extend the shoulder girdle. And then exhale, releasing, lifting the head, lengthen the tailbone. And then inhale, drawing the shoulders up, drawing the belly in. This is also a good abdominal strengthening exercise as well. Now lift the head up. And we'll do one more of each. Inhale, drawing the belly in towards the spine. And then exhale, looking up, lifting the head, lengthen the tailbone. Now we're going to draw the toes together. I'm going to sit back onto our heels into what we call Balasana or Child's Pose. So let's take the hands back. Let's rotate the wrists. Let's wriggle the fingers. Release any tension in the hands or the fingers here. And if this posture is challenging for you to sit back on your heels, you can place a rolled up mat here or a cushion or even a blanket to support you and take pressure off. Now, let's come into our next posture, which is Bharadvajasana, which is a twist, seated twist, and it's great for digestion. And as you'll see, one of the main reasons why within the twisting motion. So within this particular motion, we want to make sure we've got a nice long spine. So the same principles apply with the Sukhasana posture that we did earlier. Nice long spine. Now, one point to note, when we're coming into our twist, when we're placing our hand behind you, which we will go through the cues in a moment, we want to make sure we've got a nice straight line from our shoulder down to our hip here. That's creating a nice long spine in the twisting movement, which will create a release for us, but also give us the best opportunity for a nice, strong, engaged twisting movement. So you can come up onto your finger pads or onto your palm. Now, if you can't maintain this length here, then you can put your hand onto a brick or a block to support you to get that length. I like to come up onto my finger pads, which gives me that length that I require. Okay, so now we'll come back into our seated position and we'll go through the cues. So let's take our left hand to the outside of our right knee. Let's inhale, extend the right hand up to the sky, nice length, draw the belly in. Here's where we're getting the length in the spinal movement. Then we open the shoulder and then we place the hand behind, just like I showed you earlier. And then we inhale, extend, and then exhale. We're twisting to the right hand side. We're looking over the right shoulder. Make sure the belly is drawn in. And we're breathing nice and controlled slowly here. And then inhale, coming back to the center line. And the natural twisting motion should bring you back, but also maintain the control within the movement. We always want our movements to be slow and controlled, okay? And structurally aware and mindfully aware. So now let's take our right hand to our left knee, okay? That's going to support us in our twisting motion. And we extend our left hand up to the sky, and then we open the shoulder, place the left hand behind us, like I showed you before, onto the finger pads for me. Could be onto the palm for you. And we'll lengthen the spine. And then inhale, exhale, release. And we come over and around and we'll look over our left shoulder. Make sure the belly is drawn in. This also supports the spine. And then slowly releasing and coming back to the center position. Now we're going to make a slight little adjustment here. We're going to take the knife edge of the hand, left hand to start with, place that against the right knee. That's going to create some extra traction for you, which will allow you to go deeper into the twist, okay? So extend the right hand up to the sky, open the shoulder, place that right hand behind us, get your alignment, lengthening, inhaling, and then exhale, we release, drawing around, looking over our right shoulder, Make sure that belly is drawn in. Nice length in the spine. You can feel the support of your left hand against your right knee, creating a deeper movement within the twist. And then slowly releasing, coming back to the center line. Now we only want to go within the limits of where we are. So we're not trying to overstretch or overemphasize the movement. We're gradually working into the movement. It takes time to get where we want to go, okay? It's all about the journey and not so much the destination, because we're going to learn as part of that. We're going to understand our body better as we move through the posture with control, okay? So now let's take our right hand knife edge. We're going to extend our left hand up to the sky. Then we're going to open the shoulder, place the left hand behind us. Inhaling and then exhale, release, and then we come twisting around to the left hand side. Draw that belly in, support the spine. Looking over the left shoulder, feeling the right hand against the left knee, creating that extra support for the movement. And then slowly release, coming back to the center line. So there we go. That was Bharadvajasana, seated twist. Great for digestion. Now we're going to move into Setu Bandhasana, which is bridge pose. So we're going to come, we're going to lie on our backs. And then we're going to draw our feet up. We're going to draw our feet up as close to the buttocks as we can get them, okay? I used to like to use my hands to signpost to the back of the heels so I can know how close I am and where I need to be, okay? We want to make sure that the knees are in line with the shoulders so they're not splaying out to the sides or they're not turning the pelvis in. We want a nice neutral pelvis here. Now you can also place a block between your knees to make sure you've got that alignment correct also. Now, we're going to place our hands, palms down on the floor, and as we're going to come up slowly, lower back, middle back, upper back, and we'll rise up and towards our shoulders. We'll be using our hamstrings, our glute muscles in our buttocks, and our hip muscles to draw ourselves up, and we're pressing the feet into the ground to get that solid foundation on the mat. So now let's do that. So inhale, drawing our hips up, lifting lower back, middle back, upper back, coming to our final position. And we're going to interlock our fingers and we're going to extend the hands away toward the heels. Keep your head in line. And we'll take a couple of breaths here, pressing the feet into the mat. You see if you can lengthen a little bit more and just go within your own range of motion. Over time, it will increase. As I said, it's all about the journey. And then let's place the palms down on the floor and then we'll slowly lower down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Let's extend the legs all the way out. And let's give the legs a little shake. That'll release any tension in the lower back. Always love that. That's a nice little moment there. And then we're going to do that particular posture one more time. So let's draw the knees up. Place the feet flat onto the ground. Let's look at the alignment to start off with. Let's check where the heels are. Yeah, are they nice and close to the buttocks? Yes, they are. Are my knees in line with my shoulders? Yes, they are. Okay, palms flat on the mat. And then we're going to inhale, drawing up nice and slowly with control. Lower back, middle back, upper back. Rising up onto our shoulders. We'll interlock the fingers, extend the hands away to the heels. And just take your time. There is absolutely no rush whatsoever. And then slowly place the palms down and we'll slowly lower down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Let's extend the legs all the way out and we come into our final posture, Shavasana. Now, everybody absolutely loves Shavasana. It's the final pose of the class today. So let's take the legs out nice and wide as the mat, heels in, toes out, palms facing up nice and wide. And you're drawing in, inhaling and exhaling. Feel yourself relaxing onto the mat. Completely relaxing. You can start to close your eyes. And if your mind starts to wander here, then just draw it back to the breath. Focus on the breath. That's where we want to be right now. Super relaxing pose where all the movement that you've done has led up to this particular point in time to relax as much as possible. Just go through the body while you're breathing, do a scan, and just ask your body to relax even more. Main areas of tension, the feet, the hips, the hands, the neck, the face, the shoulders. Just completely relax. Now tune into the music for a couple of minutes here. Work with the breath to relax even deeper. And now we'll slowly start to wriggle the toes, wriggle the fingers. When you're okay, slowly open your eyes. Reorientate yourself back into the room. Feel your body on the mat, back in your space. And now we'll slowly draw the feet together. Let's draw the right leg up, place the right foot flat on the ground. Let's shift the hips over to the right hand side as we roll over to the left hand side and nice and easily press ourselves back up into the seated position where we finish the class with Namaste. Namaste. So there you go, viewers. I hope you enjoyed the class. If you did, then give it a like. If you've got any comments, please let me know. I love interacting with the communities. Now, if you want to take it a step further, I've got an amazing meditation just on the side here, which is an amazing way to start the day. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about Tai Chi and the other practices that I teach, I've also got a Tai Chi learning sequence there as well. Now, if this is your first time here, I remind you to subscribe and click the notification button so you'll get notified when I publish new videos. Until that time, have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and Namaste. Namaste.